Hi there, Mrs. Davis here. Welcome to English 1-2. You can see over here, this is Miss Patton. She's my partner in crime. Unfortunately, she was not able to be here this evening when I made this video for you, but please feel free to reach out and say hi when you get a chance. A good way to do that is through email. Her email's right here along with mine. And then from there, if you want to get a hold of us by phone, you can always call the office, or if you want to call me directly, this is my Google Voice number. From there, another great way to stay in touch with us is through Remind. So if you have access to the app or if you want to download it, this is the code that you can use to connect with us. If you enter that in, it'll send it to me saying that you're trying to join and who you are, and then I will approve you and you'll be all set. From there, office hours, if you're ever trying to get a hold of me, these will be my office hours. Monday afternoons, I do have meetings, but feel free to contact me if we need to meet on Monday afternoon and that's what we need to make work. I will find a way to make it happen for you. Just let me know in advance and I will definitely rearrange things if I'm able to. Otherwise, Tuesdays through Fridays, 1:55 to 2:35, you can definitely get a hold of me by phone in my WebEx. WebEx, the kids can just pop right in if they're wanting to talk to me. Again, phone, email, whatever you need, just reach out and we'll figure out a way to take care of things. My schedule is posted right here for this particular class. Please keep in mind that on Mondays we do start earlier. This is something that the kids have struggled with the last couple of weeks, but they are starting to get used to the routine. From there, they've done a really nice job overall with Tuesdays through Fridays. Just the biggest thing that I'm trying to emphasize with them right now is to be on time for class, which typically means they should be trying to come in about 3 to 4 minutes before we actually start so that I can actually begin right at these times. From there, typical class period, basically when they're supposed to be coming into class, they will sign into WebEx. From there, it sends them into what's called my virtual lobby. And what happens from there is it says you need to wait for the hostess. And what it'll do is on my end, it says, gives me the name of the student and says that they're waiting. I wait a few minutes to make sure there's a couple of them coming in at a time. And what I would do is I take attendance during that point, confirming that it's in fact my student. And now that I'm getting to know all their names, that process is a lot faster. But the idea is for security of the class, we just make sure that people coming in are the ones that are supposed to be there. Students also have to sign in with their entire first and last name to make sure that they're being appropriate and that, again, I know who's coming in. From there, they will be accepted and they will be entering the classroom. Once we're ready to begin, we go ahead and start. We have bell work. From there, we will go over what the agenda looks like for the day. I cover the objective that we're going to be talking about for that particular part of the class period, or if it's an objective for the whole period. And then we go into through essential questions, things I want them to be thinking about as they're going through the actual lesson in order to meet our objective. And then they will be given direct instruction. It could be guided practice, or it could be independent work. When we get to the point of independent work, I typically send them to work in something that's from their Google Classroom, and they will be given opportunities to either stay with me in WebEx where they can work and then they can also ask questions as needed. Sometimes I will ask them to leave WebEx altogether so that I can meet with small groups. If that's the case, when they leave WebEx, they're still expected to be working on their stuff for class. If they finish early, they're always encouraged to work on other items for our class, and then just make sure that they return on time. From there, they are given times to check in with me. It could be where I say, come back in 20 minutes. It could be, I want to see you in 10. It could be, I want to see you in 30. Typically, it's not any longer than 30 minutes. I try to stick around 20 to 25, actually, just because I don't want to lose them and I want to make sure that they're actually still moving along with things. If I know that they're working really hard and they're not quite finishing, then we can always talk about as a class due dates and things like that. From there, we will always meet and bring it back together at the end so that we can kind of wrap things up and send them on their way. We also use that time to confirm any homework that they have to have, and again, to kind of solidify due dates and things like that. If I'm noticing that they are, working really hard and they need extra time, I will totally give it to them and might say that the assignment's due by midnight that night, or that it's due before class the next day, or, give them an extra day. If it's something where we're struggling to get it done, I might say, this is still due by the end of this class period. I have not had any issues where I can't give them a little extra time to get things done. They've really done a beautiful job. Again, if they have questions, they are welcome to stay in WebEx with me as long as I am not working with a small group. When I do small groups, which I do all the time, the reason is because if I need to review a skill with a student or a group of students, I can do that very quickly. Typically when I'm pulling small groups, it can be anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes, depending upon what I need to cover with them. If I'm not pulling small groups, or if that particular part of class, I'm done with my small groups, then I will always tell the kids, hey, you're welcome to stay. So they're always told what's happening at all points in our class. I'm a big believer in transparency and letting them know what's happening at all times. Okay, from there, I want you to know that obviously you're starting to learn that we're having a block schedule for just this school year because of everything that's going on. That means that most of the classes are now a full semester. However, this class is actually still going to be year long. So I will have them for the duration of the entire school year. So that means I'm going to cover all of English 1, which is freshman English, along with Read 180. And that's going to be done in the first part of the school year up until winter break. And then when we get back from winter break, I will transition into the second half of freshman English and the second half of the Read 180 curriculum. So what that means is that your student has been selected to be in my class for the year because they need a little extra help with their reading, their writing, and just in general, some English skills. So it's not a bad thing at all. I tell the kids, look at it as you're lucky to be here. I've got you for the whole year. We're going to make the best of it. It makes our class actually a little bit smaller, which is nice, so I can give them more one-on-one and really help make sure that whatever gaps we're finding, we can help them fill and get back on track. Most students are in really good shape overall, and the goal is to take them from where they're at and just take them to even higher levels of success. My goal is that when they leave us to go on to sophomore, junior, and senior English, they feel like they can do anything, and that they're strong enough in all areas for English that they're really successful. And then they are always told they can come back and get any help that they need, or if they just want to tell me how great they're doing, I'd love to know that too. All right, so overall class, we do have about a 90-minute block. It is chunked. They're still learning how to work the chunks, meaning right now we do the instruction, the WebEx, and things like that. We're starting to add in the Read 180 segments, and that will happen in chunks where myself, or I'll take a group, Ms. Patton takes a group, and then I also have a student peer tutor, and she'll be working with the kids on different things too, in regards to the Read 180 program. So the goal is that they will be moving between different teachers to do different things, all while working with me in small groups and so on. So I basically have my hand in pretty much everything that they're doing at all times, and the idea is that we're using the different pieces to keep them moving, keep them engaged, and keep them growing. From there, this is how they'll be graded. The English 1-2 and the Read 180 will fall into these different categories. You can check their grades anytime on Parent View and Student View. Google Classroom is a great place to kind of see what the work looks like and how many points it's worth. It is not the right place to go to get the overall grade. Please go to Student View for that, or Parent View. From there, basic expectations. The biggest one that I'm noticing that we're definitely addressing as a group and starting to practice is trying to make sure that they're not distracted, that they're prepared and ready to start on time is another one. We keep trying to say when you go to work, you're given a shift, you have to be there on time, if not a few minutes early, to make sure that you are, in fact, on time. And making sure that they're following all directions. Some of them, even though I may have the directions in 3 different locations, it's like they're skipping it and then they're saying, I don't get what's going on. So I'm not sure if they're distracted or if they're just skipping it or if they're just truly not getting it. So I've been asking a lot of questions to try to clarify that with them and really force them to start taking ownership and to start looking for directions and following them. So you may hear them say, she's always making us adapt and overcome. I'm a big believer in them figuring it out, them problem solving, because they're going to need that as adults. And then the final thing is if they're having any issues in class, which we typically don't have much of, I will always start by talking to them. They're in high school, so it's really important that they take ownership of what's going on with them. If it gets any more, if I need to reach out from there, I will. Okay, but typically I'm able to handle it with them and it doesn't need to go anywhere else. If it's something major, it unfortunately does have to go directly to the dean, but at that point, it's usually because it's a solid reason for why. All right, and then from there, I just want to say thank you for your time. Reach out to me anytime if you have any questions or concerns, and if not, I will talk to you soon.